how can interior design industry become sustainable when there is an increase in textile material waste which is dumped into the landfill? According to Yang, Fenggu, and Ziodong, in 2011, historical interior design practice is focused on luxury, while they overlook the effects of practice in health and environmental contamination. And it has been agreed by Cargo in 2013 that traditional interior design industry is a single dimension, focusing on the aesthetics of the space. He also adds that designers who practice sustainability is very limited. In 2013, Usmani agreed that designers have an opportunity and plays a great part in waste minimalization. After conducting the research at University of Loughborough and Waste Resource and Action Program (WRAP), waste created is due to the lack of awareness by the designers, professionals, and contractors, and type of waste is generated in different stages of the project. According to the official statistics of waste in 2018, in UK 222.2 million tons of waste was generated, of which 62% contributed by the construction, demolition and excavations, and 12% households. Around 50.8% were sent to the landfills. In 2020, WRAP conducted a study quantifying the composition of municipal waste at the point of collection and found that 900,000 tons are from the textiles, in which 681,000 tons are non-clothing textiles, and 390,000 tons are sent to the landfills, and only 4.7% waste was sent to the recycles. After the lockdown, there is a trend for hybrid working, as per the study of Office of National Statistics 2021. Now, homes are not just a living space, also acts as a working space. Like fast fashion, fast furnitures are also trending nowadays. And the average expectancy of each household is changed to 5 years. The study conducted by the WRAP in 2020 says one-third of the UK households puts their duvets, curtains, pillows, rugs, etc. into the waste, which increases the waste in our industry. There is also a change in behavior attitudes of the citizens, as most of the people start to believe, act and agree with the climatic change, the social responsibilities, economical benefits. They also wanted to work for sustainability. Why do people only talk about the textile waste in fashion industry and not in interiors? And how can interior industry be sustainable when there is a large amount of waste dumped into the landfills? The term sustainability has several meanings and refers to all phases of textile existence or its lifespan. It means managing waste, preventing pollution, using renewable materials, furnishings, and saving resources. Reuse and recycle are the key component of sustainable ecosystem because they reduce the trash and landfills, which brings the initial objective of preventing pollutions. Specifying sustainable materials and product, enhancing indoor air quality, which improves the productivity and overall health and well-being, extending the useful lives of textile and increasing resource efficiency through effort of reduce, reuse, recycle, repair and remanufacture are all part of creating sustainable interior. The end effect is not just enhancing the quality of life in a construction environment, but also significant cost saving through the resource and energy reduction. Textile waste is generated in different stages of the process. The first is the pre-production waste.
That I worked for a textile designer for 5 years, and I learned there firsthand how much waste there was, whether it was the printing process. Every time you print fabric, you normally print a minimum of 50 to 100 meters. Obviously, if you're a huge company, you'd be printing thousands of meters. And every time you print, it's actually really hard to get exactly the color that you want. So you end up having lots of waste. So they call them strike-offs. So you will print the first few meters to check the colors right, and they'll be like, no, that's not quite right, and it goes on and on. So I learned that there's a lot of waste in the printing process.
The post-consumer waste.
In the printing process, but also in the makeup process. So when people buy interior textiles, they're making up curtains or blinds or cushions or upholstery. And because you're often pattern matching, so you need to find exactly where it lines up, you always have to over order. It's a bit like if you were tiling your bathroom, you'd have to over order on the tiles to make sure. So I learned about how much waste there was, and then it wasn't.
And the post-production waste.
And because their clients were really high end, and also just naturally, you probably wouldn't want, if you had a sofa in one fabric, you probably wouldn't want it anywhere else in your house. You don't want to sort of match fabrics in your house. So generally people don't want any excess surplus fabric back. So it often sits with the people who are making it.
There are many researches and projects done all over the world to increase the lifespan of the textiles. One of the strategies is to have a cradle-to-cradle certificate, which follows the 5R strategy, which is reuse, repair, refurbish, remanufacture, and recycle. The cradle-to-cradle is a life cycle model for the life cycle assessment. It does not allow the old textile materials to go to the waste, and the materials are repurposed or recycled, and keeps the material in the economic loop and save energy during the production.
So government legislation to say what they have to do with their waste. It's really hard. I've actually spoken, I don't know if you've looked into it much, but there's a really great organization called WRAP, which do research into fashion and textile waste and how it is being dealt with, and they've gone back to the government with their recommendations of how it should be monitored and encouraged, and hopefully cast a spotlight in this area, because at the moment it's still somewhere that needs a lot of work. Have sort of started this initiative that's called Textiles 2030, where they have got businesses pledging, like big businesses like Dunelm and Hillary's, and a range of other businesses that by 2030 they have a set of criteria that they want to have achieved to encourage the reduction in waste textiles.
Textiles in leadership in energy and environmental design. Contract interior of LEED green building rating system emphasis site development, water saving, energy efficiency, material selection, and indoor environment quality. And LEED helps to improve the quality of the building and the impact on environment, helping to promote sustainable community. Another strategy is to use eco-friendly material that are biodegradable or recyclable, and the industry can adapt to the cradle-to-cradle approach to reduce repurpose after the original use. Also ensure that there is a waste management program to minimize the waste during each stage. Include recycling of scrap material, composition of biodegradable waste, and also using material efficiency to reduce the amount of waste generated. Swedish brand Fischinger manufactured tables from pre- and post-consumer nylons waste in 2013, and this table has a unique surface that resembles to the polished stone. A Danish brand, Studio Friend and Raw Edge, made the solid textile boards from the cottons and the wools. And with the help of them, Max Lamp, a designer, in 2017 created the bench. Project is an Australian design initiative that composes 100% of the textile waste from used mattresses. Johanna Stenberg, a Finnish designer passionate about old materials, says, "The moment an old material turns into something new, this is the moment of my energy and the life of the product, and the material is renewed in a new home, and this is recycling at its best." To make the industry more sustainable, some actions like providing awareness.
I used to do something called Sustainable Saturdays, where I'd talk about something that I was changing in my life, and how it went, for example, changing to shampoo bars instead of using shampoo bottles and things like that. So it's not always directly related to interior design, but it's just all these small pointers that can help people. And, you know, it's all got the end goal of hopefully leaving a better planet.
Increasing the lifespan of the materials or upcycling of the materials.
Our role is to make sure that it doesn't end up in landfill, or it has a few more lives before it ends up in landfill. So some of the products we get in, aren't made from sustainable materials, but that's something that we don't have a control over. So our job is to help it stay useful for as long as possible. Yeah. Okay. Say is things like, you know, ask yourself if you actually need that item in the first place, and is there anything already in your home that you can upcycle. So we talk about upcycling quite a lot, and encouraging people to be imaginative, save any scraps that they've got, just make sure they don't go in the bin, whether they donate them to a charity.
Implementing waste management strategies that reduces the amount of textile waste that ends up in the landfill, and this can include diverting textile waste to recycling facilities. Use of sustainable materials like organic cottons, bamboos, recycled polyesters, etc., which have low impact on the environment than the traditional materials. 5R principles, which is reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, and remanufacture. So by taking these actions, the interior design industry can become more sustainable in the face of increasing textile waste materials that is dumped into the landfill. By reducing waste, promoting circular economic principles, and using sustainable materials, the industry can minimize its impact on the environment and create more sustainable future.